Shabbat Shalom, brothers and sisters. I'm Rapha'Yah, and we will take a little time to discuss this Torah portion, Parashat Sheminy. This Torah portion covers quite a few things, and we'll cover in a certain period of time. But first, if you have not subscribed, please do so you can get the latest production. We are always constant working on productions. We are currently working on music, which are out now, and there is more music coming out. Some are in Hebrew, most of it's in Hebrew. Some are in English and Hebrew, and some are Spanish and Hebrew. So enjoy, because we are bringing even more so. We are also bringing productions, video productions in the future as well. So let's jump into this. And as we talked last week, the preparation of the sons of Levites, it was very, very crucial for them to understand the reason why they were doing this rehearsal. This rehearsal was something that they were looking forward to. They have 7 days to prepare. These 7 days, they have no excuse. Moses, was the ultimate trainer. He was the one doing all the sacrifices for 7 days. They were just watching what he was doing, and they were supposed to be doing exactly as Moshe was doing. But there was a problem, and we will see it next. So let's jump into it. This Torah portion, once again, it covers quite a few things. And as I stated before, it's something that we need to take into account when it comes to be ready for the Creator. Chapter 9, verse 1, all the way to 11:47 of Leviticus. In that day, Sheminy, in that day 8th, or the 8th day, Moshe called Aharon, his sons, and the elders of Israel. What was the reason why Moshe called upon his brother, their sons, and the elders of Israel? Is because that day 8th, because they have 7 days of preparation, that 8th day happens to be Abib 1, the beginning of the year, Rosh Hashanah, the beginning of the year. That 8th day happens to be the first initiation of sacrifices, the first initiation of crowning the King of Kings, Yahweh Sevaot. That day is where the kabod, the esteem of Yahweh, came down from heaven and burned the sacrifices. That day, the elders, the princes, and everyone around brought sacrifices according to chapter 40 of Shemot or Exodus. That day is the beginning of every cycle throughout the entire year. That day is the day that Mashiach, Yahushua, was born. Now, this day 8th is a continuous cycle. That's why you see the 8th day as an endless cycle. And it's so true, because if you really think about it, if you go into the dictionary and look for the word year, it means the repetition of this 4 seasons. The repetition of the 4 seasons are the ones marking the seasons of the year, marking the cycles of the year. Thus, we have to understand that the Creator has these cycles for the world, for the nature, for the natural, geographical around the world to work. Because if it was just one season, it's not going to work. There will not be any balance around the world. That's one of the reasons why Yahweh made this world in few cycles, 4 to be exact. Now, let's talk about a little bit of Targum Yonatan on this verse. In the 8th day, the anointing of Aharon and his sons. On that day, that was the separation, the Kedushah, being the first day of the month of Abib, when Moshe had erected the Mishkan, or the tent of the meeting. He did not take it down, nor did he minister any longer at the altar. Do you see that? But Moshe called Aaron, his sons, and the elders of the Sanhedrin of Israel. That was the day that was Moshe said, okay, I'm done here. It's your turn. That was the day that they supposed to initiate their rites, their sacrifices. Moshe was done with the training. That leads us to believe that we, today, we have talmidim, we have people that are under us. We are teaching them. But we are also talmidim, we are disciples too. And the Mashiach is the one teaching all of us. We have to understand something very important. We are sharing this light. We're sharing this light to anybody who wants to learn about the Torah, and they will be doing the same thing later. Everything is a cycle. You see that? Just like the year is a cycle, so is everyone else. Now let's go on into Exodus 12 of Targum Jonathan, verse 2. This month is ordered to the beginning of the months for you, for it will shall began to count the feast, the times, the cycles, and shall be for you the first of all the months of the year. Now, let me just make a little note over here. Contrary to popular belief, around this time, September, I know that our Jewish brothers, they called Rosh Hashanah the Feast of Yom Teruah. It's not true. It's not accurate. It's not biblical. It's not in the Torah. Yahweh never said anything about the middle of the year being the first of the year. It doesn't make any sense. The first of the year is Abib 1 in the feast or in the time of spring. So where did they get this? All these are traditions that are being dragged down for years, and they drag these traditions from Babylon. No wonder why Jewish brothers, they do have a lot of traditions that are rooted in Babylon. I'll give you a few examples. The Talmud is one of them. That's what there is one is called the Babylonian Talmud. Where do you think they got it from? Babylon. There's another one, which is the Babylonian calendar, which is the main one. Today they call it the Jewish calendar, but if you put it 1 and 2 together, they are almost like a glove. They are the same exact calendar. It's not about, it's not conscious enough to say it is biblical. It's not. It has nothing to do with the cycles of the year, but rather the moon cycles of the around the earth. And the Torah doesn't speak anything about that. If you want to write it down, please do so. Rosh Chodesh means the beginning of the year, but they call it new moon. Doesn't make any sense because moon in Hebrew is Yereach, not Rosh. Chodesh. Chodesh means month. That's what it means, month, not moon. So there's a lot of skepticism and also a lot of confusion when it comes to reiterating about these anomalies every year. And we know that every year our Jewish brothers, they do make some sort of adjustments. The Torah never speaks about us making adjustments. Never ever you will see where Yahweh says you need to make an adjustments here and there. Never. But Yahweh said instead, these are my set times. These set times are, or appointed times, are the times that should not be moved. In other words, they will be the same every single year. Leviticus 10 verse 1, and now the sons of Aharon, Nadab and Abihu, each took his censer, but put fire in it and placed incense on it, and they offer before Yahweh Esh Sarach. Esh Sarach is translated as a strange fire, which he had not commanded them. The question is, once again, Those are rhetorical questions. Didn't they have 7 days of training? Didn't they see Moshe doing all this? Everything that Moshe was doing, they supposed to follow. And yet they went astray, doing something that Yahweh never said or Moshe never put example upon. So where did they get this strange fire? Might it be a match? Might it be a fire that they were making a bonfire somewhere and they just got the fire from it? But the question is, and the real question is, where do they supposed to get the fire of Yahweh? Let me show you. 9 verse 24, fire came down from before Yahweh and consumed burnt offerings and the fat portions of the altar, and all the people saw it and shouted and fell in their faces. This is where they're supposed to get the fire, from the burnt offering. They're supposed to get the fire that is igniting. They're supposed to get a little fire and go and get this little flame and get it ignite. I'll give you a few examples in the menorah, in the 7 candlesticks, in the incense. They're supposed to do all that, but the fire, the source of fire, is supposed to be from Yahweh Sevaot. That's why Yahweh said, you offer a strange fire. Esh Sarach. Esh Sarach today is traduced as, or translated, or we can deduce as, strange doctrines. These strange doctrines are the ones that are being brought to Yahweh, and they mix and match whatever they want. Doesn't work that way. Yahweh says very clear that this is my Torah. I don't want any other fire. Okay? So 10 verse 2 of Leviticus, and Esh, do you see that? The fire is the one that is supposed to get, but the fire came from Yahweh and consumed them, and they die at the command of Yahweh. In the Targum, Jonathan says that this fire is supposed to be some kind of electrical impulse that they got, and they got electrocuted all the way to the core. Yahweh sent this for them to learn and die from that. See, that fire, it was nothing but pure fire from Yahweh. Yahweh wants us to utilize the Torah. The Torah is the fire for us. Now you might think, okay, now you're switching to Torah. Yes, it is Torah. Let me show you why. The book of Deuteronomy, or Devarim 33 verse 2, he say Yahweh came from the Sinai, shone upon from them, from Sai or Zair, appeared from the mountain Paran, and came from Riverboat Kodesh, and dashing upon them from his right hand the flaming Torah. You see that? That flaming Torah is the one that you and I are supposed to have. That teaching is from Yahweh. The Torah itself, today it is the problem. Today we have the same situation. What it says in Ecclesiastes 1:9, what it was, it will be again. That is exactly what's going on today. They mix and match whatever they want, and they're not using the pure fire of Yahweh. Why? Why is it doing it? Why people are doing it? Why our Jewish brothers are doing it? I'll give an example in the Messianic arena. Do you know that Messianism is basically a mix of Christianism and Judaism? Those two are mixed together, and they just made as they go along. They just made things that they are like, where did they get this? They just made it up. They just drag it probably from most likely from the Christian world, Christian practices, and they just do their own thing. Judaism is basically the same thing, and now we'll delve a little bit into that. Do you know that most of the, I would say majority of them, of Jewish Orthodox do not learn Torah? Do you know that? They don't physically open the Torah and search for and spend their time searching for the scriptures. They don't. They only learn Talmud. They only learn Kabbalah. They only learn Mishnah. They only learn all this, the Zohar. They only learn all this. but they don't learn Torah. You know that the Talmud is basically comments of Jewish rabbis. One rabbi say another thing, and another rabbi say a thing, and both goes at it, arguing about this, but they don't actually learn the Torah itself. No wonder why they ignore a lot of things. No wonder why they're forbidden to learn a lot of things. Do you know that they're forbidden majority? Most of the Jewish Orthodox are forbidden to read the book of Deuteronomy 18:18. They don't even know that. They're forbidden to know that. Isaiah 53, Isaiah 2. In Psalms 2. There's a lot of Psalms and a lot of scriptures where it talks about the Mashiach, and they are forbidden to read that. They ignore that. They don't literally physically open the scriptures. And that is strange fire. We need to be very, very careful when it comes to the things of the Creator, because they are set apart. They are Kadosh. We need to learn Torah, not any other thing. Now, let me give you a little switch into a different topic, to a different gear. Psalms 19 verse 1, it reads like this. The heavens proclaims the kabod of Yahweh. The firmament announces the work of his hands, and one day passes the message to another day. One night informs another night, without speaking another, without pronouncing, without their voice being heard. The message reaches all earth, the language to the ends of the world. They has prepared a tent for the sun. This tent is what is called today the chuppah. The chuppah is where the groom goes out, right? And if you notice, when we got married under the chuppah, under that canopy. And exactly the sun does the same thing. This chuppah happens to be a big one. And let me show you why. You are looking at the cycles of the year from the Mayans. That's December, that's January, that's February, March 8, in March the equinox. You see that? And goes back again, another cycle, and goes all the way to the end until winter. And it goes back to the same seasons of the year. This is what the cultures knew, which, by the way, and I'll pause a little bit over here. These are, by the way, when it comes to the Mesoamericans' traditions and practices, they are rooted in the Torah. Our forefathers were scattered around the world. They scatter here in the Americas, from North America all the way to the South, and they follow the same trend, the same pattern, the same principle. They follow the Torah indirectly. The tribes, they never lost in a sense, the Torah calendar. They follow the same solar calendar as the one we are following. No wonder why they were so similar. No wonder why the cultures around North America, South America, Central America are very similar, because those are the 10 lost tribes of America, of Israel. At the end of the teaching, I will leave a link so you can watch all this. I'll leave 2, and you can watch those. And believe me, there's more production videos that I made. Now let's continue. And let's look into, this is the solar clock, the solar sundial. And you see the line here towards the circle here. This is what is called the fall tekufot, and also the Abib tekufot. These two are very, very align one another. And the reason why I say that is because if you notice here how they did this following, okay, this following of the Torah indirectly, they knew how to count the years. This fall festival is the one we are about to mark. And on Monday, tomorrow, I will put a video marking exactly what you see right here. The fall tekufot, which happens to be tonight, by the way. Okay, tonight. And I'm sorry, it will not be tonight. It will be on Sunday night. Sunday night to Monday all day. So here we can actually see these two markers are the same exact. And let's jump into chapter 9, verse 5. Look what it says. He rejoices like a groom coming out from his chuppah. Do you see that? Like an athlete running from his race. He comes from one end to the heavens, to his tekufot. Do you see that? To his circuit. And reaches to the other end, and nothing escapes from it. Now, we have to understand something very important, because it's very crucial for me to say it. The cycles of the year starts for Abib 1. In Abib 1, every tekufot, every circuit passes into the Beit HaMikdash in the temple. And that was in the same times where Moshe was in the wilderness, same time where Shalomo erected the Beit HaMikdash, or the temple. It says very clear, the scriptures, that the sun passes there. Now, let me just show you, okay? Let me just show you what I'm talking about. 40, verse 2 of Shemot, or Exodus. This is what I translated already, but you can actually see it in the Torah, and it will say the same thing, but it's not translated Aleph Tau. On the first day of the first month, which happens to be Abib 1, or Spring 1, you should raise the Mishkan, or the Ochel Moed, or the tent of the meeting, okay, or the tent of the testimony. But in the Hebrew, in the Torah scrolls, it appears Aleph Tau. You should raise the Aleph Tau. How? How was it you raised the Aleph Tau? The Aleph Tau is the Mashiach. Mashiach was born in the first of Abib. I will bring that video at the end of the Torah portion. You can look it up, and please watch it more than one times. It is very informative, and you might want to pause it as well to take notes. Let's move on. Moshe and Aaron then entered the tent of the meeting. When they came out, they blessed the people, and the presence of Yahweh appeared to all people. This is what happened at the beginning of the year. This is what happened when they did the things that they're supposed to do. Of course, the sons of Aaron died, but that doesn't mean that everything was going to stop. The show continues. The shows must go on. And we can see pretty much that the cycles of the year are around the tent of the meeting. The tent of the meeting is nothing but a huge giant clock at that time of Moshe. It was pinpointing the cycles of the year every cycle had, because remember this, around here, around the Mishkan, on the tent of the meeting, were set upon the tribes of Israel. They were around the Mishkan. Every tribe happens to be, if you want to write it down, mirroring every constellation. Every tribe was mirroring every constellation. The way they were set upon is every constellation, every door. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that means that when the Creator was setting apart all this, they was setting apart for a certain reason in the future. And I'm going to show you this now. This is what the sun mirror of Abib 1. Abib 1, they knew when the first of the year were going to happen, and they knew it very well. Now let's look into the Beit HaMikdash. You see all the way in the back happens to be the mountain olives. And this is Abib 1 in the temple facing the east. See that? Our forefathers knew this as well. And they knew that Abib 1, where the light, the sunlight of Abib 1, the equinox, enter into the Beit HaMikdash. They knew that as well. So once again, all this was nothing but something that the Creator wanted them to learn the cycles of the year. So, closing. Sheminy, it was a day for us to be set apart, for us to acknowledge the Creator as the King of Kings, the Melech HaMelachim, and also as for us to acknowledge the times and the cycles that Yahweh has set upon this Torah. Not the Jewish writing, Torah. Now, not only that, we need to be careful when it comes to the set apart things of Yahweh. When it comes to the set apart things of Yahweh, those are the set apart, Kadosh, for Yahweh. The things of the world, those are the things of the world. We cannot mix and match as the way we want to. We need to be very careful, because if we don't, we will be in trouble. And we don't want any curse. I'm Moreh Rapha'Yah. We'll see you next time. Please be advised, Yom Teruah is coming tomorrow night, Sunday night, which happens to be 21st of September. That 21st of September at nighttime will be the first day of the 7th month, which happens to be Yom Teruah. It is a marker. It will be mark the fall season. It will mark the first of the month. It's a Rosh Chodesh, and it's half a year. So I will talk about all those details with a special shiur or Torah lesson. We'll see you next time. I'm Moreh Rapha'Yah. Please subscribe if you have not, and I'll see you next time.
Toda Rabba. If you like this video, please give us a like and subscribe to our channel. There's more content in production. Thank you.